This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Good morning, should I say, ladies and gentlemen. It's 1 a.m. and all Knicks fans are recovering from another New York Knicks loss as they fall to the Milwaukee Bucks 123-108. They played better. I can give them that. But they still came up empty, especially when it counted, which was the fourth quarter. The Knicks in the fourth quarter, with 11 minutes to go, are down just 2 points, 93-91, and they crash and burn the rest of the way. They start off the game okay. They gave up the first 5 points to the Milwaukee Bucks, but they start to shoot the ball. Evan Fournier starts off the game hot. Kemba Walker playing well from the beginning of the game. The Knicks lead the first quarter 39-30. They didn't lead. The Milwaukee Bucks led after the first quarter 39-30. Knicks down 9. In the second quarter, the Knicks go down by as many as 14 points, maybe even 15 points. But they make a run. The bench, they were a little bit shaky. And this is what happens to the New York Knicks. Starters play well, the bench is shaky. Starters don't play good, the bench plays well. What are you going to do? I don't know. But as the starters start to come back in, the end of the second quarter, they make a run. They get back into the game. And in the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks down just a couple of points at halftime. You go into the third quarter, and I'm already bracing myself for the New York Knicks to lose it. But instead, they stay tight. They let the Bucks take a lead, but they come back. The Bucks take a big lead, but they come back. And they finally find some footing in that third quarter. But then when the fourth quarter hit, and you're playing with all subs on the floor, and Giannis is playing against those subs, the Milwaukee Bucks begin to extend the lead. Tom Thibodeau went small in the fourth quarter because Nerlens Noel, he wasn't able to guard Giannis. Giannis came down in that fourth quarter at the beginning of the fourth quarter and just pulled up, walked into a three. Right in front of Nerlens Noel's face. Tom Thibodeau had enough. He put Julius Randle back in the game, who wasn't doing much. At least he wasn't scoring the basketball at all. But they put Julius Randle back in the game, this time for Nerlens Noel, not Obi Toppin, and he tried to go small. It backfired. It backfired big time, ladies and gentlemen, because the New York Knicks was a +10 in rebounding going into the fourth quarter. Then they got demolished on rebounding in the fourth quarter. There were a couple of stretches there where they were giving up offensive rebound after offensive rebound to allow the Milwaukee Bucks to extend their lead. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, the Milwaukee Bucks went a span of time without hitting a field goal, and they were continuously expanding their lead in the fourth quarter. But I'll say this about this game. Although the New York Knicks hung around, they never played with the desperation that I was looking for. They never had the hunger. So I never felt like they were going to win the game. I never really got excited. I was a little happy over a couple of shots when they would keep it close, but I never got excited because I did not see the hunger from this team. As if they really wanted to win the game. It was like they were just out there playing. They were on cruise control. Never saw the fight from anybody. Anybody. There are some guys who put up some decent numbers, but I never saw the dog mentality from that team tonight. So I didn't have a lot of faith that they were going to pull it out. They stayed close, but I never had faith they were going to pull it out. I just didn't see it. Just didn't see it, ladies and gentlemen. Taking a look at the box score, the Knicks were led by Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier was hot for the majority of the basketball game tonight. Majority of the basketball game, he was hot. He had 25 points and 7 rebounds. He was 10 for 19 from the field. 5 for 12 from the three-point line for 41.7%. Good shooting from Evan Fournier. You needed it. Really did, because Julius Randle was barely shooting the basketball. Julius Randle only had 9 points on 9 shots. He only went to the free throw line twice. Once. He went to the free throw line once and shot twice from the line. 9 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. 4 turnovers for Julius Randle. But for all intents and purposes, he wasn't really looking to get his. And I do know that teams are loading up. I mean, there was one time in the first half when Julius Randle had the ball in the post and Giannis was already there, ready to double team. He got a 3-second call, a defensive 3-second call. But this is what teams are doing every single night because they know Julius Randle can't handle it. And they know that the Knicks run everything through Julius Randle. A lot less tonight, I will say that. Very evident. A lot less tonight. But still, you need more than 9 points from Julius Randle. R.J. Barrett, 23 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 for 20 from the field. He was 37% from the three-point line. And he made 80% of his free throws. He played decent basketball game besides the field goal percentage. Some defensive lapses from everybody, not just R.J. Barrett, but some defensive lapses from everybody. But a lot of backdoor cuts got by and allowed the Milwaukee Bucks to score. Even when the Knicks were going on a run, the Milwaukee Bucks always found a way to hit a shot to stop that run. 11 points from Quentin Grimes. He was 4 for 8 from the field, 3 for 7 from the three-point line. 10 points from Alec Burks. 5 points, 5 rebounds from Nerlens Noel. Kemba Walker had 8 points and 7 assists. Played his best basketball in the first half. Mitchell Robinson, 7 points, 6 rebounds. For the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, they were led by Giannis Antetokounmpo, who played a pretty good basketball game tonight, like he normally does. 38 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. Jrue Holiday had 24 points and 10 rebounds. And I'm going to tell you what, I would probably give the game ball to Jrue Holiday for the Milwaukee Bucks, man. Because every time the Knicks seemed to make a run, and yes, Giannis did it as well, but every time the Knicks seemed to make some kind of a run, Jrue Holiday came up with some kind of a big play. And I don't understand how Jrue Holiday, I guess I do understand it. But he's 6'3". But he's muscling guys like Evan Fournier, who's 6'7", muscling these guys. Alec Burks. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. And then you turn around and scream because you got a foul, but you just got muscled up by Jrue Holiday. And I'm not saying it badly about Jrue Holiday. I'm just saying you just got muscled up. 24 points, 10 assists from Jrue Holiday. 4 for 9 from the three-point line. Grayson Allen played a decent basketball game. 15 points, 7 rebounds for the Milwaukee Bucks. Shot 43% from the three-point line. Bobby Portis didn't have one of his revenge games last night, whenever it was. 5 points, 6 rebounds. Chris Middleton did his usual, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. They didn't have much coming off the bench. They had just enough coming off the bench. Their starters really did the heavy lifting for the Milwaukee Bucks. But ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks are just playing without spirit. They're playing without spirit, and it's like they already know this thing is done. That's what it looks like to me. Because they're just not playing with a lot of spirit. Not playing with heart. You know, I mean, there was one time, and I'm not exactly sure, maybe it was the fourth quarter, when Julius Randle came in for Nerlens Noel, that it looked like he was playing spirited defense on Giannis. One time. Other than that, I just didn't see a lot of spirit from the team. The Milwaukee Bucks, when they decided that they were ready to play basketball, they did whatever they wanted to do, and they did it easily. Easily. Ah, boy, what are we going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Game stats on the night. You see it, 123-108. The Milwaukee Bucks beat the New York Knicks by 15 points. The biggest lead was 17. The Knicks never led. The Milwaukee Bucks won the rebounding battle 47-45. Especially that fourth quarter. Like I said, the New York Knicks had a plus 10 rebounding edge going into the fourth quarter. A plus 10 rebounding edge. Milwaukee Bucks end up winning the rebounding battle. 27 assists for the Bucks, 21 for the New York Knicks, 11 steals for the Bucks, 6 for the New York Knicks. Only 1 block for the Bucks, 4 for the Knicks. The Knicks were a little bit turnover happy in the first half. I guess they took care of the ball a little bit better in the second half, but still, 14 turnovers for the Knicks, 12 for the Milwaukee Bucks. The Knicks shot 46.4% from the field. The Bucks 46%. The Knicks shot 35% from the three-point line. The Bucks 32.6%. But here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, the New York Knicks fail to knock down free throws. The Knicks shoot 57% from the free throw line. 57%, ladies and gentlemen. There was a point in the fourth quarter where Mitchell Robinson, and I'm not blaming Mitchell Robinson, but, you know, he went to the line. There was a point in the fourth quarter where Mitchell Robinson missed 4 straight free throws, and it hurt the New York Knicks. Obviously, there were times throughout the game when the New York Knicks missed a lot of free throws, and it clearly hurt the Knicks. The Knicks missed 12 free throws tonight. They were 16 for 28. They missed 12 free throws. It's an NBA team. Come on. This is an NBA team, ladies and gentlemen. An NBA team. Can't knock down free throws. It really is ridiculous. Really is. I don't know what to say. Taking a look at let me get my chart back up here, ladies and gentlemen. Points in the paint. The Knicks actually had 42 points in the paint. The Milwaukee Bucks had 46 points in the paint. Second chance points, the Knicks 15, the Milwaukee Bucks 13. Fast break points, the Milwaukee Bucks 19 fast break points. A lot of that's because in the first half of the game, the New York Knicks were turning the ball over. 12 turnovers in the first half for the New York Knicks, 2 in the second half. 19 fast break points for the Bucks, 10 for the New York Knicks. But again, this game to me really did come down to the lack of desperation for the Knicks, to just the will and the want to win this game and bring it home. And I'm not saying that, it was a definite that if they turned up the heat, they were going to beat the Milwaukee Bucks. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is there was a clear just lack of desperation, lack of heart, lack of fire, lack of desire. You're not going to beat the Milwaukee Bucks that way. Spree, what's popping with you, man?
Happy belated birthday, Sim. How are you?
I appreciate it, man. I'm good. I'm good. I'm a little bit, pissed off at the way the Knicks are performing. But, that's the New York Knicks side of me. Everything else, man, it's beautiful.
Well, I called in to make you laugh. So,
all right. Let's do it. Make me laugh. I need it.
The Evan Fournier trick shot, the shot that he made?
Uh-huh.
Where he was looking at the other basket and he just threw it up. Sim, where I come from, that's a shot that you put up when you know you're getting traded. He didn't even look at the basket on that. He just threw that up there. I don't know, man. I mean, by the way, we have guys on this team that have the worst hands I've ever seen. Nerlens Noel can't catch. We knew that. Mitch fumbles balls now. Even Julius Randle on free throws tonight, Sim. It's like these guys can't hold on to the ball. It's unbelievable. It's like, why do they fumble the ball? They should play in the NFL.
Yeah.
Where you can fumble all the time. I mean, this is not football here.
Yeah.
Just secure the basketball.
Spree, can I just want to jump in here for 1 second because I'm seeing some people say, the difference in the games that Giannis had 38 and Julius Randle had 9. It's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I get that. I understand that. But even with Julius Randle not scoring the basketball, the Knicks had the game to 93-91 with 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. When the Milwaukee Bucks went on their run, Julius Randle wasn't even in the basketball game. And I'm not blaming anybody else. What I'm saying is, and this includes Julius Randle, the fire and desire was not there. So when the Milwaukee Bucks went on that run in the fourth quarter, there was no fire for the Knicks to get back. There was no desire. There was no desperation. They played the game as if they were on cruise control, even in the fourth quarter when the Milwaukee Bucks went on a run. I'm not discounting Julius Randle only scoring 9 points. That's obvious. That is obvious. But what I'm saying is from the team as a whole, there's no fire, and that includes Julius Randle. There's no fire. It's not lit. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Spree. Don't mean to interrupt you.
No, man. You're good. You're good. I think, to your point, so with teams that I trust and teams that, I believe in, when you cut into a lead, because this game was sitting at, 4 or 5 points, I felt like for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you never believed they would get over the hump because you didn't see the energy. You didn't see the when you are trying to make a comeback, not a big comeback because this was, it was 12, 14. You cut it to 4 to 5 for an hour, okay? You're in quicksand. You need to make the energy play. Take the charge, get the loose ball to get the energy layup.
Exactly.
With this team, it's so rugged and they're so slow, and there is no desire and fire. Where a 4 or 5 point lead, Sim, feels like a 20-point deficit. I'm saying.
Right. Right.
It's unbelievable. Sim, there was a play in this game, okay, where Giannis was on the floor on a 4-on-5 fast break, and my guy Alec Burks. Alec Burks shoots threes better than he does layups. That's a problem.
Yeah.
He took Quickly out, and he should have taken Quickly out because, Quickly got fouled on the possession before they didn't call it. He should have got to the line, but Quickly's got to stop rushing that three.
Yeah, it's just here you go. It's 93-91 with 11 minutes and 44 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Holiday, a driving reverse layup. 95-91. Giannis Antetokounmpo, a cutting dunk. 97-91. Quickly hits a floater. Makes it 97-93.
He got fouled on that, but yeah.
He did.
He should have got to the line.
Right. Drew Holiday misses a three-pointer. Antetokounmpo gets the rebound. Antetokounmpo knocks down a 14-foot jump shot. Obi misses a three-point shot from the top of the key. Looked good. Rimmed off. A little bit short. Bobby Portis gets the rebound. Giannis knocks down a three-point jump shot. He comes right down the center of the court with Nerlens Noel right there, pulls it up in his face, and knocks it down. At this point is when Julius Randle was subbed in for Nerlens Noel. It went from, in a matter of 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, it went from a 2-point lead to a 9-point lead, and that was the basketball game. The Knicks weren't getting back. I think after that...
Was Julius in during the stretch you just read or no?
No, he was not.
He was not in. Okay.
That was the beginning. That was the top of the fourth quarter. That is, normally, for whatever reason, Tom Thibodeau played him the entire third quarter. And then, he goes out. That was the start of the fourth quarter. He came in with 9 minutes and 28 seconds left for Nerlens Noel in the fourth quarter. And then it goes to 102-94, 105-95. You know the rest.
Yeah.
You know the rest. It just continues to go. And for one possession, when Julius Randle got in the game with 9 minutes and 28 seconds left, he looked motivated to play defense on Giannis for one possession. And after that possession, I didn't see that same motivation again from anybody. I'm sorry. From anybody.
I just don't I don't know why. I just think they're like shell-shocked a little bit. Everything's gone wrong. But you can't do that in basketball. It's a new game. You're on the road. I understand things haven't gone your way. It's easy to kind of fade. This team does lack leadership, man, because it's just – and Kemba, yeah, he gave you 7 assists, but that's another thing. Kemba, to me, I don't know why he's playing because, yeah, he can't really set the table. I mean, he's not getting any penetration, Sim. He's just a guy out there.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything.
Yeah, but you know what else is bad?
What?
Kemba is just a guy out there, but Julius Randle is becoming just a guy out there.
I know.
And he had a couple of driving layups tonight, but for the most part, he just looked like a guy out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't know where to get a shot, when to get a shot.
He looks confused.
He doesn't.
He looks like he looks confused, and also saying he looks like there are times where I see like body language, like IQ or RJ, you just go. I'll stay. Like I don't even want to be involved in the like. And some of it is they're loading up. It's okay to play off other guys, but there are also times where he looks disinterested in the play.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand that they're loading up, but sometimes, just deal with the fans getting mad. Sometimes he's going to have to try to force the issue a little bit every once in a while. You know what I mean? Or just make the quick move, because there are times when if he catches the ball and just rips it through and goes to the basket, something good is probably going to happen. But he's thinking and he's waiting and he's playing slow and he doesn't know what to do. So he's just giving the ball up because he doesn't want to be the one to make a mistake.
So let me ask you this before I go, just really quick. We got 5 games left, I believe, before the trade deadline. Obviously, these are 5 very big games. I kind of know how I want to go. Where are you at as far as the trade deadline with where you want to see this thing go?
Oh, man, where do I want to see it go?
I want to make sure we're on the same page.
I don't know. I mean, I don't see it working with this group. So it's probably the best thing is probably to reboot. I don't see it happening with this group here. Now who do you keep in that reboot? That's the question.
Do you keep Julius Randle?
That's I don't know. That's the question. That's the hard one. That's the hard one, I think.
Like, we can all agree. I think you're in agreement with me. You're cool with trading Fournier.
Yep.
You're cool with trading Kemba.
Yep.
You're cool with trading Burks.
Yep.
You're cool with you want Mitch here?
I like what Mitch can bring, but I'm cool with keeping him. I'm cool with moving him. I'm cool with keeping Julius. I'm cool with moving Julius too.
The Julius thing is, but here's the thing: if you move Julius more than those other dudes, who I do want gone, we need to see Cam play. As much as Burks, I respect him, he's got to go. The one thing with Randle is this, Sam. This may need to get done in the summer if you don't get. We still need. Let's not devalue. I know he looks awful and just like a guy now, but you know how good he was last year. We need to get full value for Julius if he goes.
There's no way.
I don't know what that is, though.
I don't know either, but I don't think the front office would be smart to move him now at the trade deadline unless you're getting a really, really nice return. But to me, it's not going to happen that way. His stock is just low. Everyone's looking and seeing. Everyone throughout the NBA can see what's happening right now, and they're going to fleece the New York Knicks. You know what I'm saying? You have to wait until the summertime. Right. You got to wait until the summer, let things cool down, let agents talk without the pressure of basketball games going on, and deal with it that way, in my opinion. Because if you do it now, you're giving up a young piece without a doubt. You're probably still, if it continues this way for the remainder of the season, you're probably still giving up a young piece in the summer or a number one draft pick to move Julius Randle. But I think you have better chances of bringing back a better return if you wait until the summertime. When other pieces, there's going to be things happening during the draft, and then you're going to get players that sign here and there, and there's going to be more movement, more things happening in the summertime. So, you'll have a better chance of getting a return back, I think.
I'm with you, man. Look, we got to be, I know Knicks fans, a ton of them want them gone now. We just got to take a chill pill. At the end of the day, we got to trust the organization, but if we're going to make moves, you got to get full value for these guys if that is the direction they go. I think they should go that direction. The Julius thing's a tough one. I want to see the next 5 games. If he looks disinterested, see what value you can get. But if it takes the summer, Sim, we may be here a while. But you're the man, and again, thank you for what you do. You're the man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Man. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, listen, anybody on this team can be moved. That's without a doubt. It's probably, we'll see what this is. This right now, we're at the crossroads. The front office is at a crossroads. They've got to make a decision tomorrow, tonight, at 1:25. It's 1:24 now. They need to make a decision at 1:25. Are we going with the young dudes, or are we still trying to rock out with this group? Clearly, this group ain't working. It's just not there. If they want to take the chance and say, well, maybe it gets better next season, take that chance. But I don't see it getting better unless you really add a very, very, very nice piece. And I'm not sure that's going to happen. Sorry. I'm not sure that's going to happen. You've got to add something really, really nice to make this group work. You got to add that right piece. It's Jalen Brunson. Can the Knicks even get the kid? Get you another phone call. Caller, you live. What's popping with you? Marvin, what's popping with you, man?
Hey, what's going on, Sam? Appreciate you taking my call,
good.
Man.
Appreciate you, man.
Hey, man. I looked at the game again tonight. I know all the fans are all upset, man, but I wanted to run something across to you here, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the schedule here, guys, and not throwing attention off of Randle or none of the players, but I watched one of your shows earlier today, and you guys were talking about the first 20 games where actually the Knicks were doing pretty well. You actually was at a high point in the season at 11-9.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys know that game, after that 20th game, was the game that Thibodeau benched Kemba?
Yes.
Since then, it's been all downhill.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, I didn't call in before and explain it. I thought it was more Tibbs to the derailment of his team than anything. Listen to this, Tibbs. Ever since then, before then, Randle led you guys' team 11 times out of those 20 games. Since then, he has been the leading scorer 4 times.
Mm.
Also, you went 4-10 when you benched Kemba. But when Kemba came back and had that 44-point game, all hail to Tibbs. Everybody thought he was a savior. Well, you were 4-9. Picture if you keep Kemba in the lineup, you might be a lot better than that. And since Kemba been back, you're 14-17. I really and truly believe Tibbs poisoned this team. Now, he's coaching like he's bulletproof because he was a coach of the year last year. But it's always been coaches' heads roll first. I honestly believe if he took 1 week off, you guys would play a totally different game. 1 week, his hardcore coaching, his hardcore stance has just totally just derailed this team, man. The guys are walking on eggshells. They scared to do this because of Tibbs. I mean it. When they benched Kemba, I was totally not in favor of that because it was the first time ever in Kemba's life being benched, and I know he wasn't playing well, but you guys were 2 games over 500 when he benched him. You have not been over 500 since that day. Now, it might not mean nothing, but to me, I know it meant something. And I heard, I think it was Andy on your panel saying about coach's head roll first. Also, if you look at the trend of Randle and the rest of the players, and it's like your last caller was saying, it's like they was acting like with no urgency. See, when a team finally decides they don't want that coach no more, they don't play for him no more, man. And right. Quiet as it's kept, it looks like these guys behind the scenes are sick of Tibbs. Now, I know Tibbs' resume is decent. I know that. But if you look at your schedule and you see in that Phoenix game, because he benched him right after that Phoenix game, you went 4-9. Kemba came back after that and hit 44 points. You actually lost that game when he hit them 44. But team was already in shambles then. And ever since then, you guys you might win 2, 3, you might lose 1, win 2, but you couldn't get it together. And then not only that, Tibbs is so fat-headed. His game adjustments are terrible, Sims. You know that. I mean, the motivation, and it shows with the players. The motivation from the players is a product of their coach. And now Tibbs being so solid and figuring his job is so secure because of the coach of the year last year, he don't even care. I just want to know, I'm going to ask you a question. What was the reason him not playing Cam Reddish tonight?
I have no clue. I have no answer for you.
Think of that, Tibbs. It's almost like he's trying to sabotage. Why wouldn't you? It don't make sense. Cam Reddish is a perfect fit for you guys. He won't even play it.
I have no answers for you, man. Well, you already know what Tom Thibodeau was going to say. Thibodeau, I don't know if I say his name correctly, but you already know what he's going to say. We have our rotation, and he's got to work his way into the rotation, but the rotation ain't working.
That's right.
That's the thing. The rotation ain't working.
And you know why he's saying that and going about it this way? Because he think he's bulletproof, Sam. He think they won't fire him because he was coach of the year last year. You remember I told you a long time ago when I called in one, I'm from Chicago. He was in Chicago. If he was that good of a coach, why did we get rid of him? Why did Minnesota get rid of him? listen, somebody's got to, in that front office, has got to step up, man. I mean, he has poisoned you guys' team, man. And I hear the callers in the panel, and everybody's talking about trade this player and trade. No, give Tibbs a break. Give him a week off, and I bet you guys win 4 to 5 games in that week. I bet you will. He is a virus, a total virus, Sam. I'm serious. And I want all the fans to hear this. If you look at your schedule, the day he benched Kemba, and I was irate when he did it, you went 4-9 until he got back. When he came back, he hit 44 points. You even lost that game, but it was all hail to Tibbs. He's the greatest coach. No, he wasn't. He was the dumbest. He should have never benched him.
I mean, I will say this though: if you look at recently, and this proof is also in the pudding, the Knicks were on a 3-game win streak, had crawled back to maybe a game below 500.
Yeah.
Then Kemba comes back in the Charlotte game. The Knicks lose. They go on to lose, I don't know, maybe 3 straight.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Kemba sits out against San Antonio. The Knicks win. Kemba comes back the next game. The Knicks have been losing ever since. So
okay. Excuse me, Tim. Not to cut you off. Sam, not to cut you off. Okay, I understand that. You don't have to start him. You got young pieces. That's Tibbs' fault also. I mean, we want to keep throwing the blame on these players when it's bad coaching, guys.
I think the players have something. The players got something to do with it too, man. I mean, I do agree that Thibodeau has made mistakes. I'm not saying he hasn't, but the players got to take some responsibility in it too.
I'm not giving them a pass.
From the
Don't
beginning
get me
of the
wrong.
season,
I'm not giving them the pass. They got to have the effort. They got to go out there and play. They really, really do. But when you know what?
When you look from the beginning of the season, even when we were 11-9, guys were getting wide open shots. I'm talking about wide open shots where not a defender is 5 feet close to them, and they were missing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And,
you're right.
And it caused people to say, hey, something has to change with the offense. But guys were getting wide open shots. Fournier, Barrett, quickly. I mean, everybody were getting these wide open shots, and they were missing. So it's on both parts. I think it's on both parts.
Yeah, and I want to close with saying this, though, Sam. Now, Tibbs is not a great offensive-minded coach. And I've heard a lot of your panel and a lot of people talk about one of the coaches that were recently on your team that's not there now, that was more of a mentor towards those players and helping them go through these trying times.
Woody.
Yes, Woody. Yeah, that's him, Woody. So, all right, I don't know if you know, but who Tibbs just didn't want him on his staff? Is that the answer why he's not there?
No. He got a job coaching Indiana, man.
Oh, okay.
He got another job.
Well,
so,
okay, but somebody needs to see that. I mean, even now, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I have never seen a coach that cannot make adjustments after timeouts more than Tibbs. And you know this too, Sam. You guys come out of a timeout, and it's like everybody went over there and ate ice cream and came back and do the same thing again. That's Tibbs, Sam. That's Tibbs. But then I understand the fans get angry with the players.
No, I get it. You know what I mean? I mean, I know that he's made some mistakes, but I think the players, they got to take some of the grunt of it. But, hey, Marvin, I appreciate it, man. I know I got some other people that want to call in.
All right.
Thank you for the call. No doubt. No doubt about it. Tibbs deserves his criticism, but players deserve theirs too. And I think it's on both parts. The front office as well. You know what I mean? And, of course, the question is, where does the team go from here? I think that's the big question. Now, where does the team go? What is the front office thinking about this roster? Does the front office feel like they need another year to try to gel? Does the front office feel like they want to break it down and go with young guys? What is the front office thinking? I would like to know what they're thinking. I would like to hear from them as to what they're thinking. Some kind of state of the Knicks address. And I'm not one of these people that say, hey, these guys need to come out and speak to us every single month. No, I don't. It is what it is. We can see what's going on. We can see what's out there on the floor. But it would be nice if they would come out, especially during times of adversity, and speak to the fans to say, hey, here's what we're thinking right now. You know what I'm saying? And of course, they're not going to give you all of the details and say, well, we're going to go young. Definitely. Obviously, they're not going to do that, because if they do those things, you tell all of your players, yep, you're getting ready to be traded, right? So they're not going to come out and say, yeah, we're going young, or, we're going to ride it out with the vets. They're not going to do that. But it would be nice to hear something and tell us as much as you can tell us. Just because we're in a time of adversity, you'd like to hear from the leadership. You'd like to hear from the leadership. Is it going to mean a hill of beans? Probably not. Probably not. What are they going to say that we probably haven't already heard? But I think some people would like to hear from them. You know what I mean? But clearly, they wouldn't give us any details, right? Because whatever strategy they have in place, it would shred it to pieces. I know. Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Sincere, Bronx.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm well blessed. The second quarter. The second quarter was the first quarter, I think. Julius ain't scored until like 2 minutes left.
Right.
That was crazy.
Right. He didn't score.
That was crazy.
He didn't score until 2 minutes left.
Tibbs' loyalty is to a fault right now. We have the number one bench in the league right now, and his loyalty is to a fault. I understand he's tied with Randle as far as with the whole most improved player and coach of the year. I respect that. February 3rd, it's time to go. I think February 3rd, the team, the organization is set up right now where they can send everybody. Everybody that they gave Tibbs right now can go, because we got the number one bench. We got to create cap space, and we'll be good for at least the next 5 years. We got the KP Dallas trade coming up. Mm-hmm. If that turns into something real, we good to go.
I mean, well, I don't think, moving the play. I don't know how they create cap space. Evan Fournier signed for a couple of years. Julius Randle signed for a couple of years. And where they are right now as far as, their stock and how other teams are looking at them. They're not going to be clamoring to say, hey, this guy is our missing piece. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know that they're going to give up a whole lot to get these guys. So I don't know how we're going to clear cap space by getting rid of them unless them guys in the front office, can really pull something off. I think you can move them, but I don't know if they're going to be able to clear cap space. You may even be looking at them taking on a bad contract, or something like that. I don't know.
I see them taking on some contracts to dump for this year, at the end of this year. I do see that happening. As far as Julius Randle, he has the best contract as far as all the power forwards in the league right now. Mm-hmm. That's a team-friendly contract right there.
Yeah.
You package that with two veterans, Fournier and Kimber, somebody's going to take them. Somebody that's trying to either make the chip or play for a conference chip, they'll take them. Randle will flourish being the number 3 guy, number 4 guy right about now. He's not that guy in New York. I mean, he did his thing for us. We appreciate it, but he can't handle it here. He needs a media-friendly city. He needs something. He needs an Indiana or the Raptors. So somebody where the city doesn't really criticize the players too much. They love their players. He needs that. The city's not for him.
I mean, you're probably right. Or he just needs somebody else that can take the heat from him. Because right now, there's nobody else that can take the heat. If he had somebody on this team that was better than him, I mean, right now, it's looking like, there's a couple players better than him with the way that he's playing basketball. But if he had somebody who was above him in the, whatever you want to call it, on a totem pole, and that person was there to take the grunt of it, it would help him. Right now, we're not getting that guy, though. So I dig what you're saying, because we're not getting that guy.
I agree. I mean, I know people, they think you can't happen, but I think the way Joel Embiid is playing right now, if the Sixers don't make a move, Doc Rivers might be gone. If the Sixers don't make a move and they bow out in the first round, that's a problem. I really think. And then the fact that the Kings backed out from talks, it's like a cat and mouse game. So they're waiting for February 3rd. We already know from talks that the Kings wanted Randle. We already know that. February 3rd is going to hit. That Fournier contract, that Randle contract is going to be eligible to be traded. We package Kimber. We can't send no Wells to the 76ers. We know that for a fact because they've been suing each other or something like that. What we do is we package Fournier, Kimber, Burks, Randle. Doc Rivers loves his veterans. We know that. They already have a good starting five from the process. We're just giving them another five that they could use as they make their run to the chip. In exchange, we get two players at least. The Danny Green, we dump him, after this year, and we get what we're looking for, a point guard. A point guard that's going to be with us for the next 4 years at least. That's going to guard every single position, alleviating the stress of our other players having to guard the superstars. Crashing to the board, dishing it out to our wings. And don't forget about the alley-oops to Obi. And that's with a Tom Thibodeau system. I'm just saying.
We'll see, man.
It's feasible
this
year.
February 3rd is next Thursday.
February 3rd.
Obviously, you probably won't see anything on that date, but, you might start hearing some more chatter. February 3rd is next Thursday. We'll see what's up. We'll see where it goes, man. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I appreciate it, bro.
Sir.
Appreciate you. Listen, I will say this. Julius Randle came out earlier today or yesterday and said, basically, I'm still riding with the New York Knicks. I am still in it to try to bring a championship to New York, right? I'm still here. I'm still trying to do this thing. Reading between the lines, and I don't want to disappoint anybody, him coming out and saying that, I feel like he went to Leon Rose and said, hey, I'm reading that you said that you would trade me for the right price. And it feels like to me, Leon Rose said, don't worry about all of that. You're good. And so when asked the question, he responded by saying, I'm still all in and trying to bring a championship to the Knicks. I still want to do this thing. I still want to be in New York. Maybe he got confirmation from someone that you don't have to worry. I'm just saying. Don't get mad at me. I'm just reading in between the lines, so this is all just a thought off of my brain. Nothing, no inside sources or nothing like that. It's just a thought. Just a thought. Let me get to another phone call here. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Hey, Sam. It's Oliver. I'm calling from the Boston area.
Oliver.
I called the show one time.
What's going on with you, man? How you feeling?
as a Knicks fan, I'm doing fine as a person. As a Knicks fan, obviously, I don't think many of us are happy with what's going on. I just wanted to ask you, like, if you were the GM right now, if you were the manager, overseer of the organization, what would you be thinking? What would be your thoughts and your course of action right now?
Man, honestly, with the way that I'm looking at right now, the vets, Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, Alec Burks, I guess, even Nerlens Noel, if I could move them, I would. Right? I would hold on to Julius Randle at least until the summertime, and then, have a little bit more time to talk with my team and, think about what's the best course of action. But I'd be looking to move those guys. One, Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, it's just not happening. Although Evan Fournier played well tonight, he has been playing okay lately.
Yeah.
And then two, I want to make room for Cam Reddish to play. I'm not, you don't give up a first-round draft pick for the guy to, you could have left Kevin Knox there.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? You could have left Kevin Knox there. And I'm looking in the chat, and people keep on saying, still, they're like, still holding on to Randle. Get Julius out now. I don't think people get it and understand. You also have to be business savvy. You can't just make decisions on emotion.
Agreed. No, for sure.
You can't just make decisions on emotion.
It's hard being mixed. I see how they're feeling, though. I think we all see.
Yeah.
As fans feel frustrated. Like, it's hard to be frustrated, and that's why it's hard. It's even harder to actually be in the position. Like, that's why I try to put myself in the position of if I was the GM, and that's why I wanted to hear your perspective on it. Like, if I was the GM, if I was actually the one making that decision, what would I do? Because it's not so easy, I don't think.
Right. It's not. It's not. Listen, as a front office, you made a commitment to the guy. Okay. He's playing terrible right now. It's no doubt about it. He's playing terrible. But as a front office, even if you feel like the guy has emotionally checked out, B-baller for real, even if you're the front office and you feel like that, the front office can't make their decision on emotions because that's how you get fleeced.
It better not.
That's how you get fleeced.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying? You get fleeced that way.
Right.
Oh, my God, I can't get him out of here now. I don't care what we trade him for. Just get him out. No, you can't do that. That's how you really put yourself in a hole. The best time to trade him is not right now. That's what I don't think people get. So when we're saying, you got to hold on to him at least till the summertime, it's more about if you move him right now, you're going to lose more than if you move him in the summer. And if the season is lost, okay. If the season is lost, just let it rock out. And then you make that decision and you make that move in the summertime during the draft. Right? Because you can make trades during the draft. But right now, in my opinion, unless you're really getting a nice return, it's going to be something off of emotion, and you're probably going to end up giving away quickly, or Grimes, or McBride, or a first-round draft pick, something you may not want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like Greg is saying, Randall lover. No, it's not about that. It's about making smart decisions and not just going off of, I'm upset at this guy, so this is what I'm going to do. Who cares if it hurts the future of the team? You know what I'm saying? You got to be smart about these things. That's all I'm saying. You got to be smart about this thing.
I'm with you on that mindset. Like, it's about what return that you get. And the Knicks, I feel like finally, after years of struggle, it doesn't seem like it now when you look at the win-loss and watch these games, but they have built a little foundation. Draft picks, young guys, Randall coming off a good year. So he showed the league, he showed people that he has it in him. At least he did last season, and he's had some flashes this year. So you got, like you said, you got to be careful. You trade Randall away and don't get the right return, that could hurt the franchise for years to come. Yeah. Like a lot of decisions in the past have done to get us even where we're at right now.
Yeah. And I'm looking, people saying, we signed him in free agency. We're not losing anything. That's not the truth, my friend. Because when you trade somebody who the league is looking at right now saying this guy's lost. He's not getting it together. He's not playing well. Now they want more from you to take him on. He's got a 4-year contract. They might say, well, if you want us to do you a favor and get this guy off your hands, you got to make it sweeter for us. Whether or not they like Randle, they might be in love with Julius Randle, but they know the situation. That's where you gotta think a little bit differently.
I'm with you. I mean, if maybe there's a trade out there, like I don't know what deals are out there, but like you said, I think you said it multiple times on the show. It's about the return that they get. Like anyone, I think you said it. Like anyone's tradable. It's just about what we're getting in return, right?
Yeah. And you know, when you get into the summer, when you get into the draft, you get into the summer, you know, you don't have the pressure of the season. You don't have, it's not so, it's slower. Things are a little bit slower. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You have more time for agents to really get together and talk. You have these things that can happen. You know what I mean? Let's put it like this. You get to the end of the season, the Knicks are totally out of it. You know what I mean? How many times have you seen a team during the end of the season start playing well? A team that was bad start playing well because now they're playing against all these teams that have relaxed, teams that are out of it, teams that are sitting players because they're cool with their position. And then now you see these guys start playing better and certain players start playing better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is the lowest point for Julius Randle. The lowest point. You don't do it now. You don't. To me, you just don't do it now when you have other opportunities only a couple months away.
Yeah. The only way I do it now is if the right deal.
Right deal.
That's the only thing I would counter to what you said. Like, if they gave the right deal, I don't know what that package would be, what that deal would be. But if the right deal was out there, I would do it, but I wouldn't be desperate. I think your point, what you're trying to say, and let me know if I'm misunderstanding. You can't be desperate in that kind of negotiation because that could be doing more harm than good for now and the long term.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? If you you just act off of emotion, you're gonna end up getting fleeced. I'm not saying, hey, if they want to move them, move them. I'm not saying don't move them. That's not what I'm saying at all. All I'm saying is make a smart decision.
With you. I'm with you 100%.
You know?
I think I still look at Randle as like the reason why we even had our expectations. I think a lot of Knicks fans, I think we were sort of surprised by how good the season went last year and how well of a signing Julius Randle seemed to be, like a steal almost.
Mm-hmm.
Sign him to a new contract. And obviously this year it's been a disappointment overall.
Yeah.
So it's hard. We had our hopes up a little bit. We had our expectations up. But, like, I don't know if we ever truly had, like, championship aspirations. And we're still not too far off the record that we were last season. I know it's worse, but not too far off. And, like, if they decided to pick it up at any point, they could get back in the playoff hunt if they started to pick it up and win games. I'm not saying they're going to do that, but I don't know. My point is, like, I never had championship aspirations for this season. So nothing that is going to happen is going to be, like, terrible unless they start ruining the future of the franchise, like making a bad trade for Randle or trading a bunch of young guys and not getting the right return. Then I feel like they could really start screwing up the franchise. I feel like right now there are some nice foundational pieces that are still in place.
Yeah, listen, if the front office is intent on moving Julius Randle and they find the right deal, you do it. You know what I'm saying? You do it. But I just think you got to be, you can't be too hasty. The New York Knicks, 23-27. They are one full game out of the 10th seed in the Eastern Conference. They've now fallen below the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks are 23-25. So the Knicks are a full game below the Atlanta Hawks. Now, the Knicks do own the tiebreaker over the Hawks if they can find some way to muster up a few wins and try to stay in contention. Mm-hmm. But I tell you what, I think a lot of what they do at the trade deadline is going to depend on this West Coast trip. Mm-hmm. Listen, if the Knicks how many? The Knicks have lost 3 in a row. If the Knicks lose 3 more straight,
Oh,
you know, and they're 23-30. I think that's at the point of no return. They might be at the point of no return now. Just and a lot of it is based on the schedule that's coming up. You know.
yeah, it's a tough schedule.
Yeah.
Didn't they say on the telecast tonight it was like the toughest schedule? I forget what they said, but
Yeah,
it's the toughest schedule of something. Like the next however many games.
Like the second toughest schedule in the league.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a tough one. It's
I
tough.
mean, yeah. So I hope they get. I saw they had Sacramento on there. Hopefully they can win that one. I think Portland was on there. Hopefully they can win that one, but I don't know. I'm not counting on it.
But here's the thing, like those 2 teams, Sacramento was there. They're no longer there. The Portland Trailblazers, they're fighting for that 10th seed though, right? They're in the 10th seed right now. They're 21-28. They're in the 10th seed. You would think the Knicks are going to have some desperation. The Portland Trailblazers, you would think, are going to have some desperation to them. I'm not seeing that the Knicks have that desperation. The Knicks need to play a team and get a win and feel the taste of victory and see if that can help spur them along.
Agreed. I hope they can do that. I hope they can get something going again.
Yeah.
They showed in spurts, especially. They've just been inconsistent at best.
Right.
But I hope they can get it going. I still have faith in some of the guys. Even Randle, I still have some faith in him. I know he has it in him. He's just got to get it going. I got to figure it out.
Yeah, you know, I have some faith in him. You know what I mean? He's got to figure some things out. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got some soul searching to do. You know, but you know, if he can't figure it out, it's only so much. You know, it's only so much the organization, so much support the organization can give you. At some point, they're going to say, "We got to cut our losses, buddy." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
But hey, my man.
I don't know.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Appreciate your call, man.
I still have last season in my head, like Randle, his success last season. I still feel like wasn't that long ago. He still got some of that in him. We'll see.
Well, we will see. We will see coming up. You know, there's still a lot of games left. He's going to get his chance to prove it.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Sam. Have a good one. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Man, all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is, you know, let's just not be hasty. And when I'm saying that, I'm not saying let's not be hasty and not make a move. What I'm saying is let's think our moves through and be smart about which moves we make and not just make one just because we're emotional. You know what I mean? Let's make sure it's a smart move that's not going to cripple the team. We're not going to take back some crazy contract that, you know, hurts us even more. That's what I'm saying. Let's take a listen to Tom Thibodeau on tonight's game. You know what I mean? Anxious to hear what he has to say. Probably the same, but I'm anxious to hear it. Let's listen.
All right, Rebecca.
Hey, Coach, in the last 4.5 minutes of this game, you guys struggled to score offensively. What did you see down the stretch? What made it difficult to connect on some of those shots?
I think the big thing was the rebounding in the fourth quarter. That changed the game. We were up big going into a fourth, and you know, we gave them several second chance opportunities. So that took us out of transition. That was the big thing.
And with Giannis, Coach, you know, obviously he's one of the best players in this league, but tonight in that fourth quarter, he scores 7 of the Bucks' 9 points early in the fourth, and then is hitting key shots late. What's difficult about trying to defend him when you're putting multiple guys on him and he's still fighting away?
Yeah, that's what makes him, you know, who he is. He's a, you know, MVP type talent. So there are times you can defend him really well and you still can score the ball. He did everything tonight, you know. So he put pressure on the rim. He made shots. He made free throws. He created havoc, and you know, we battled to put ourselves in position going into the fourth, and then we had to be at our best, and we weren't.
Evan Fournier, coach, heading into this game, talked about how he wanted to adapt and adjust, create. He had a good game tonight, did lots of things well for you. What did you see from him?
He made shots early, and I think it opened up the floor for us. I thought we had players making plays, and that's the big thing. When the ball goes in, the offense is going to look a lot better.
Thanks, coach.
Just on Giannis, he was passing out of those double teams so promptly. Once he made those passes, did you think you guys defended those?
Well, that's the challenge. The challenge is you have to be in early, and you have to get out early. And you got to read the ball, and you got to move on the flight of the ball. So if you're a step late, then the way they shoot threes, that puts a lot of pressure on you. And they surround them with a lot of shooting. So you have to do both. And there were times we did it well, other times we didn't. The backbreaker is when you give up the second shot, and the initial part is good, and then they fly in from the perimeter. So if you don't check them, they're quick to the ball. They're small, but they're quick to the ball. And so if you're not putting a body on them, it's going to be a problem.
The first team that got off to a solid start in the first and the third quarters, did you see something that was working well for them?
I'm sorry, I missed the first part.
The starters got off to a solid start in both halves. Did you see something that was working well?
Yeah, I thought they played with good energy. I didn't like our defense in the first quarter. I thought we gave up too many points, and mainly it was off our turnovers, which put them into the open floor. And then I thought once we settled down, we got going pretty good. The second and third quarter, I thought we played really well. And then the fourth quarter, we didn't play the way we needed to play.
Regarding Cam Reddish, you guys gave up a first-round pick for Reddish. Is there like, when that trade happens and he's not in the rotation right now, is there communication with the front office about prerogatives when you give up a guy, you give up a first-round pick for a guy like that, or is it just purely? Yeah,
no, everything was discussed. We like who he is. We like the talent, and right now, it's a long season. We knew we traded someone who wasn't in the rotation, so you can't keep adding to without taking someone out, or you have injuries. So you just have to be patient and work our way through it.
Very good. Thanks, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
Well, I didn't hear much of what we haven't heard before. The only thing I would say is, maybe he had kind of a Freudian slip there. When talking about Cam Reddish, where he said, they've had some discussions about, Cam Reddish and bringing him in, and I'm feeling like maybe they had discussions with his agent and internally saying, listen, we're going to bring you in. You might have to not play a couple of games so that we can, do whatever we're doing with our rotation, but we got some things working at the trade deadline that's going to open it up for you to play. And, he kind of slipped up there and said, you can't bring him in without taking someone out, blah, 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 blah. We'll see. I'm keeping my eyes and ears open on that one, ladies and gentlemen, because I do believe the front office is going to find a way to make room for Cam Reddish, whether that be through a trade at the deadline or by waiving players and allowing them to go to a playoff team or whatever it is. You're going to get a chance to see. We're all going to get a chance to see Cam Reddish play. We just got to be a little bit patient and let the process play itself out. You know what I mean? And whatever trades are going to be made, let them be made. And then see Cam Reddish out there on the floor. Let me get to a phone call here. Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Yes, my name is Joel.
What's going on, Joel? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. How are you tonight, man?
I'm pretty good, man. Pretty good. I can't complain. We're talking about the Knicks, but, this is just the Knicks. Everything else outside of that, it's beautiful.
What I see is that, first of all, last year was an anomaly for Julius Randle, okay? because he played 80% of them games in was empty arena. So he was able to focus on his game and didn't have the distraction of fans. Okay. What I'm noticing that he's doing this year, especially when he's at home, he's spending too much time interacting with the fans and he's spending too much time arguing with the refs. He's not focusing on his game. Okay. He's not the stud that we need. He's a good number 2, but he's not that stud that can carry us, because at his best last year, what was he averaging? 24 points a game?
That was last season.
We need somebody who can put in more than that on a regular basis. He's not that guy. Okay? And then also, right, okay, our strength last year was our defense. They weakened our defense. We don't have nothing to go to. Last year, we had our defense to lean on. Whereas teams wasn't blowing us out. We was always close, and we can pull it out at the end. We can't do that now. We get down by 20 points easy.
Right. And we don't have no fight.
You see?
We have no fight to get back into it. No doubt about it.
No fight to get back or to hold our ground like the Marines. They don't give up no ground. Okay, Kemba Walker, I love Kemba, but he's not the one for us. He's a liability. Okay? If he was scoring at a regular clip every night, that's fine, because he'll be keeping us in games. But man, in them games where he's taking shots and he's missing, every time he missed the ball go the other way, they score, because we can't stop nobody. We can't stop nobody. Okay? I don't see the Knicks. I don't see us making the playoffs.
Nah, we're not making the playoffs this year.
No, we're not going to make the playoffs. And if we do, it's going to be another first-round exit.
You know, we're not making the playoffs, barring some kind of miracle turnaround. I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry. I mean,
like we did last year, because see, listen, there's some basic things that Julius does that he has to work on. Okay, he reacts too slow when the double team comes to him. He let it get set, and then he try to look for the person to pass it to. He want to make jump passes. You can't do that out of a double team. You can't do that, because all of the passing lanes get shut down once they drop on him. Okay, so there's some basic things that he have to learn not to do, and then at the same time, his shooters have to position themselves to where it's okay. They see that the double team's coming to him. They got to position themselves where he has an open lane to pass.
That's true. That's true.
You see? So like, you know, it's not just him. I'm really happy what RJ is doing, because he's that young bulldog. He's that bulldog we've been looking for. He's RJ, right? All of the pressure can't be on Julius, and like, I'm kind of upset that when the Bucks released DeMarcus Cousins, why we didn't take a shot at him? Because he would have helped us.
I mean,
he would have helped us.
You know, but in my opinion, you know, the whole thing with DeMarcus Cousins, that's just adding more. You know, that's just adding another guy that, you know, you got to figure out. Okay, you know, are we playing him over Mitch, or are we playing him over Nerlens Noel? Now, if Nerlens Noel is going to be out and hurt, you know, for a portion of time, then, you know, maybe that's something you do. But I just feel like that would have been another guy that you got to try to put in there. If Nerlens Noel goes out and he's out for a good period of time, he's either going to go with Taj or Jericho Sims, you know.
Right.
Yeah, but
But see, okay, you know, but the bottom line is, we're not going to fix the team through a trade, because we have to give up to get. We have to subtract to get, and that's not putting us ahead. We didn't upgrade, which is during the off season. We got some good young players, but we didn't upgrade. And the Miami Heat upgraded. You see what I'm saying? The Bulls upgraded. We didn't.
Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, we see that now. I think they thought they upgraded, but they obviously didn't. But hey, my man, I appreciate your time. I want to listen to this Evan Fournier interview.
Okay,
see
bro.
what he's talking about. But thank you for your call, man, and thank you for being up. It's 2 a.m. I appreciate you for that.
Man, listen, I appreciate you doing this at this time, so I got your back, and I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, appreciate you. Evan Fournier, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear what Evan Fournier has to say. You know, Evan Fournier's interviews are normally pretty, you know, he goes into some detail. He answers questions. He's candid with answering those questions. And, you know, sometimes it feels like he does take a couple of shots at Tom Thibodeau. Mark was right about that. Evan Fournier, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a listen.
You got it down to 2. You had it down to 2 right there in the first minute of the fourth quarter, and Giannis got about 7 straight points. They seemed to get on a little bit of a run. What kind of changed there in the fourth quarter that you noticed after y'all got it down to 2 there?
Where we actually had the shots to get up in front. I think we had 3 open shots back to back to get the lead. We missed them, and on the other hand, it was fouling, rebounding, second chance points, and transition. And when you have an opportunity to go up 2, and instead you give up a 3 or open layup, the momentum kind of like shifts. And I basically think that's what happened at that moment, because we had good shots. They tried to slow us down offensively with their switching, and that kind of worked. So yeah, that was definitely a key moment.
How important was it for the starters to get off on the right pace early, set the tone?
It's always important. It doesn't matter who you play against. Our offense was good, but 39 points in the first quarter is way too much, too many. So, when you try to analyze a game, it's different every time. And tonight it was. I thought we had good pace. I thought we had good pace. I thought we shared the ball. I thought we played the right way for the most part. So on that end, it was fine. It was really game back in transition and try to play better defense.
You were really aggressive, hitting a lot of good shots as well. Like, did you see anything different out there, or was it just shots were just falling?
No, man. With me, I always try to be aggressive. It just depending on the way we play and the way we move the ball. I'm going to have more or less opportunities. And tonight, it just happened that I had more closeouts available, more shots because of the way they guarded us. So I wasn't necessarily more aggressive or anything.
You got the Kings up next. Like, what challenges does that type of team face? And just trying to get back on pace at the Garden.
Honestly, I have no idea because I did not watch them play once this year. But from just knowing their personnel and knowing the Kings, they probably try to play very fast. They have a point guard that pushes the ball with Fox. They have guys like Buddy Hield that like to run and get a lot of threes up, and their coach is known for his offensive mindset. So for us, it's going to be all about defense and all about closing the paint and try to be the most hard playing team.
You guys good? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, not much there from Evan Fournier. Nothing really to chew on. At this point, I don't know. It is what it is. I see B-Baller for real upset that Julius Randle, isn't coming out and doing an interview. You know what? He should be coming out and doing some interviews. You're right. There's no doubt about it. He should be. Even if the organization said, don't do it, he should say, you know what? I want to come out and talk and address the media. I agree with you 100%. 100%. I still don't believe, because he didn't come out and address the media, that you just trade him just for trade's sake. It's not about keeping him till the summertime because it's Julius Randle and he's going to do this or do that. It's about making sure that you make a good deal for the team. Making sure that you make a good deal for the team. Now, if that deal comes up at the trade deadline and it's good, go for it. But if not, I think you have more opportunities and maybe even better opportunities during the draft and during the summer. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. See, somebody has a question about Davion Mitchell. Rob Al said, Sim, would you try to trade for Davion Mitchell since the Kings don't want to trade for Fox or Halliburton? I like Davion Mitchell. He's a young point guard. If you're going young, and that's what the front office wants to do, he might be a good guy to try to build with. But do we have a Davion Mitchell and Miles McBride or no? I don't know. You know what I mean? And maybe Davion Mitchell is just that much better than Miles McBride. But I like Davion Mitchell. I like Halliburton more. You know what I'm saying? I would like to try to tug him away from the Sacramento Kings if there was a way. I just like what he brings. There were rumors out there that they were willing to trade him. I don't know why they would be willing to trade him. That just doesn't seem smart to me. You know what I mean? B-Baller for Real said, we made a bad signing. How are you looking for a good deal? And what's a good deal? I didn't say I'm looking for a good deal. Right? You may not get a good deal. Whatever a good deal is, you know what I'm saying? And when I'm saying a good deal, I'm just saying something that's not crippling the organization. Right? We have a first-round draft pick this year. If you're going to go young, if you're looking at moving Randle and all the vets and you're going to go young, you probably want that first-round draft pick. If you're going to go young, you probably don't want to give up a young player just to move Julius Randle. That's all I'm saying about moving him at his lowest point. Economics. It's about economics. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. It's about economics. And not doing it at its lowest point. You know what I mean? Give it a chance for it to level out and people to say, oh, get used to it a little bit in the league. You know what I mean? Because right now, everyone around the league, they're watching, they're seeing, and they're like, it's way down here. As you get into the summer, people start to view everyone in the league through a little bit of a different lens and start to try to assess what happened during the season as stories come out about things that happened in the Knicks locker room and so on and so forth. Things can change a little bit. You have a chance to get your story out to those other agents and to other teams as you're talking about trading. You know what I'm saying? Bro, you're not getting rid of the salary this year. It doesn't matter. If you trade Julius Randle at the trade deadline, you're not getting rid of that salary. You're still bringing back the same salary. If you trade him during the draft or in the summer, you still are trading him before the new contract kicks in. Dig what I'm saying? There's times, bro. I ain't even going to talk about it no more. There's time. There's time. You know what I mean? There's time. I know people are mad and upset, but just can't be hasty. The front office can't be hasty. Fans, be as hasty as you want to be. Be as hasty as you want to be. Foxy said, Sim, how about getting Fox from the Kings? He hasn't been playing good, but he is young, and he could go back to his normal self. He's a point guard. He said, no Russ. Bad trade for $47 million. Yeah, I don't want Russell Westbrook. I like De'Aaron Fox. I do like his game. And he's not a three-point shooter, but I like the speed that he plays with. I like the pace that he plays with. I like his ability to penetrate. I like that he has some court vision. I love his mid-range jump shot. I would like to see him, get a three-point shot. He does have a big contract. So, if they wanted to trade Julius Randle for De'Aaron Fox, you'd have to you would want to be sure that De'Aaron Fox is going to be you're confident that he's going to be your point guard for the future. You know what I mean? But I do like him. You know what I'm saying? I do like De'Aaron Fox. I've liked De'Aaron Fox for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I've liked De'Aaron Fox for a long time. When we're looking at the guys that we have, I don't know what moves are out there right now. Right now, what moves are out there? You can waive Kemba Walker. You know what I mean? You can buy out his contract and waive him. That's going to open up a little bit so that you can play Cam Reddish. But then Derrick Rose is still going to come back. Derrick Rose is not going to get waived. I'm pretty positive of that because I don't think Derrick Rose is one of these guys that's like chasing a championship. So I don't think he's going to try to get waived to go to a team that's winning a championship. The only threat of that is Chicago. I'm not exactly sure of the makeup of their team right now. I know who's on the team, but I don't know if there's players are injured and things like that. I haven't really looked that deep into their roster. But if there was any chance whatsoever that Derrick Rose would want out of New York so that he could go try to play for a championship or contend at least, maybe he would say, can you buy me out so I can go sign something in Chicago? I wouldn't put that out of the question because now that Chicago is playing the way that they're playing, I don't know what their needs are, but if they did need another guard, that could be something that fits. You know what I mean? Ray West said Rose still has value as a bench player in a fourth quarter closer. Yes, I agree 100%. Derrick Rose is my favorite player on the team. I don't want to move Derrick Rose. I like Derrick Rose. I love everything that Derrick Rose brings to this basketball team. I'm just saying, and that's the reason, and I think Leon Rose, Tom, Thibodeau, they all love Derrick Rose. So I don't think he's going anywhere. But if there was any sliver of a chance that he was going to be bought out to go anyplace else, I could see Chicago being a destination, right? Which would then open up more wing players for Cam Reddish to get burned. Just thinking about guys that could be, potential buyout target for the New York Knicks at the trade deadline. Kemba Walker, obviously, I don't think Derrick Rose, but that Chicago could be a destination that, he peeks over at every once in a while. Feeling like, hey, I could end my career in my hometown for a good basketball team, I don't think Taj goes anywhere. Alec Burks, could he be a candidate for a buyout? Maybe. If the Knicks can't find a move, maybe. If they're really interested in giving the young guys time, then maybe you do see an Alec Burks get bought out as well. Obviously, Leon Rose and those guys, they're going to try to make moves. They're going to try to make trades. They're going to try to bring in young pieces or draft picks or whatever it is that they can do for Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, Alec Burks. We know that for sure. You know what I mean? If they don't get it done, we'll see if there's something out there on the buyout market. Or we'll see if they use the buyout market to create some space so that guys like Cam Reddish can get some burn. Big Nat said, do you think Tibbs starts Rose when he comes back from injury? I did read an article the other day. I think it was in the New York Post. When they were, they had a picture of Derrick Rose and Thibodeau having a discussion before the Miami game. And there was some speculation that Kemba Walker is just holding that starting spot until Rose is back and he's healthy. I like Derrick Rose coming off the bench as long as you have a good point guard. I do. I like what he brings to the bench. I love the fact that he can come in and drop 14, 15 points like that. Boom. He's knocking down the three. He provides some leadership to that bench and makes that bench even that much stronger. Also, I think that he provides some relief for Julius Randle in that starting unit. Right? So if this front office is, saying, hey, we're going to stick with Julius Randle right now and RJ Barrett and Mitch, Derrick Rose could help out in that starting unit because I do think he relieves pressure. Because he's one guard that the Knicks have that can really attack the hole hard. Kemba Walker can't attack the hole hard. RJ Barrett, he uses craftiness to get inside. He doesn't really attack it hard. Emmanuel Quickly, he doesn't attack the hole hard. Derrick Rose is the one guard that really attacks the paint. And while he doesn't, get up and bang it on people like he used to, he attacks the paint and it puts teams in a panic. Right? It makes them, oh, man, I got to collapse. I got to get here because Derrick Rose is going to finish this. Boom. Now your wings are open to spray it out. And I think that ability can relieve some pressure off of Randle and RJ in that first unit. So Derrick Rose has a lot of value to this team. And the Knicks are definitely, without a doubt, missing Derrick Rose over this stretch. They're going to miss him when they go on this West Coast trip, killer West Coast trip. They're going to miss him. They've missed him over the past few games where they lost close ones to Minnesota. They lost close ones to Cleveland. They missed Derrick Rose. You know what I mean? Z Diddy says, Sim, when are these Knicks fans going to learn that we play a big part of why superstars don't want to come to New York? Knicks fans need to be more positive and supportive of our players. Z Diddy, I'm going to say this. I had this discussion a couple of nights ago. And I don't want to blame fans. Not at all. I don't want to blame fans. But I think we do need to realize that, when players look at coming to New York, they look at the media, they look at the fans, they look at the pressure, they look at the taxes, and they say, I can go someplace else, make the same amount of money, and don't have to deal with all of that. You know what I mean? They do. They do. Like it or not. And I see B-Baller for real. He said, but you will. I'm not blaming you, B-Baller. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just speaking what the reality is, though. And I think us as fans do have to recognize that players in the NBA today don't care about New York the way we think they do. If they're from New York, yeah, they might. But when you look at most of your star players throughout the league, they're not from New York, dog. They're not from New York. I'm just telling you the truth. They're not from New York. So they're looking like, okay, cool. It's not like it used to be. Everything starts in New York, right? It used to be that everything started in New York. The music, the fashion, everything used to start in New York. But that was before social media. So everyone wanted to be in New York because everything was in New York. But now that you got social media, you got all these different hoods all across the world who are able to start trends. You know what I'm saying? Who are able to get their music out. And now you got people in New York that's like, yo, that's dope. I like what they do over there. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different now. So people can be recognized from almost anywhere throughout the world. So it changes. All I ask from our fans is that we respect the players. If you want to boo when you go to the game, you have every right to boo. You paid your hard-earned money to go to the game. And if you don't like the product that's on the floor, boo. Boo all you want. But when you get people, and I know this was an opposing team, but still, when you get people in the stadium calling you boy, and for black men, that's That's towing the racial line. You know, corner boy, get in the corner boy, do this, do that. You know, that's uncalled for. And in New York, you get it heavy. You know what I mean? You get it heavy. And, you know, you got to be tough. There's no doubt about it. You got to be tough. You got to be tough to be able to deal with it. And most players in the NBA can't and do not want to deal with it. That's what I'm saying. Most players in the NBA don't care. And they don't want to deal with it. And they don't care if we think they're tough or not. Melo was the perfect person to deal with New York. The perfect person, the perfect mentality, you know, the perfect guy. And we still ran him out of town. Still, when it came down to it, he went to OKC and he was amazed that fans met him at the airport. You know what I mean? Now, yeah, he still lives in New York. He still lives in New York, you know what I mean? Of course. But it was tough on Melo too, and he was the perfect guy to deal with it. So, you know, I just want New Yorkers to realize that it's a different world today, you know what I mean? And New York is the greatest city in the world without a doubt. You're never going to go to any place like it. Ever, 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 ever. You know what I'm saying? Ever. And anybody that's out of town, when they come to New York City, they're like, I get what they're saying. I get it. It don't mean that they want to live in New York City, though. They come to New York City and they're like, I love it. I love being here, but I'm ready to go back to Arkansas or whatever, you know, after a couple of days. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know, New York is definitely different. It's different than any place in the world. And, you know, it's tough, and you got to be able to make it. You know, you got to have a strong mindset, because, you know, people are going to come at you. And all I'm saying is a lot of players in the NBA not ready for it and don't want it and don't care if you don't like them, that they don't want it, because they're willing to go someplace else to win. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Like It's Me said, you know, we don't need softies in New York, only our ice cream. And I dig what you're saying, but those softies is like, I don't care. I don't want to be in New York. I'll go someplace else. That's what I'm saying. So, you know, it's a tough place to play. It's a tough place to play. And you know, New York fans, New York media have broke a lot of players. It's no doubt about it. Broken down a lot of players and sent them someplace else. I'm saying sent them someplace else. Hope TV said Harden wants out. He doesn't want to live in Brooklyn. Man, he doesn't like it. You know what I'm saying? Allah Wise said they love Times Square till they see a rat. Word is born. They see a rat and they're like, hold up, wait a minute. That's not what I seen on TV. You know what I mean? It's not what I seen on TV. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks lose tonight, 123-108 to the Milwaukee Bucks. You know, it's getting rough. You know what I mean? It is. It's getting rough. It's getting rough and it's getting scary. And the front office is going to have to make a decision. Like I said, then they need to make a decision now. They really do. They got to figure out what they want to do. Hopefully they've had discussions about it, and I'm sure they're on the phone, burning up the phone lines, you know, trying to figure out the best course of action for the New York Knicks. But, you know, the tough thing is, I'll just say this before I get out of here. The tough thing is that there's still, you know, just one game out of that play-in. And that may entice the front office to say, you know, we're one game out of this play-in. Let's just stay this course and see if we can fight our way into it and then make decisions over the summer. That could happen. I still think there would be buyouts. You know what I mean? I think if they could not make any other moves, I do think there'll be buyouts to make room for Cam Reddish to play. You don't give up a first-round draft pick. Even though it wasn't yours, you don't give up a first-round draft pick in a player that's not in a rotation just to bring in a player and keep him out of the rotation still. You give up a first-round draft pick, you're bringing in a guy that you think has potential and you want to see him play. So I think he's going to play. But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys rocking with me, man. It's 2:36 a.m. You know what I mean? I know, some of y'all tired. I see someone told me to stay on until 7 a.m. because that's when he gets off of work. I can't do it, bro. I can't. I would love to, but I can't do it. Not tonight. Not tonight. I can't do it. My man, Ayub Matan, thank you for the super chat. I wanted to make sure I got this before I got out of here. You said, when will the basketball gods bless us with a Giannis type of player with Giannis type of hustle? I don't know. I hope that it's sooner than later. You know what I mean? Because the Knicks haven't had that guy for a long time. We do need to get a guy like that. We'll see what happens. The problem is there's so few of those guys. They don't come around very often. You know what I mean? There's so few of them. And even when Giannis came into the league, he wasn't, people thought he had talent, this and that. They didn't know he was going to be this guy. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to get up out of here. I'm not sure I'll be doing a shoot around tomorrow. We'll see what happens as the day progresses. Maybe I will, but I don't know if I will. I did want to say to D Coolest 718. He said something about DeMar DeRozan. You're right. I do wish that we would have got DeMar DeRozan. You're right about that. But anyway, I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your time. Be peaceful. Be easy. Please be safe if you've got winter weather out there. I don't want anybody getting hurt. And we'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Peace. I'm out. Get some rest.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.